Hello friends, in this video I'm going to talk about how can we work with paginated API in StreamSet. As you can see on my screen, I have opened one web page. This is a web page of CFL API. CFL stands for Canadian Football League. So let's go through its documentation. They have provided several endpoints. One of the endpoint is games. This API provides us all the games happened in a particular season. Okay, so we are going to use this API to demonstrate how can we work with paginated API in StreamSet. To work with this API, we need a authentication key. So I have already got one authentication key. So I'm going to show you how can we make paginated calls. So let me open my Postman. And you can see I have already copied the endpoint and I have given the key as well. So let me make a call. You can see we are getting a status of 200 and we have received some objects. So you can see we have received just one object, and inside this object we have an array, that is data, and it has several objects. So we want to see how many objects are there. Let me copy it. You can see there are many objects. So I want to know how many objects have been received. So let me go through the documentation. And if we go to the pagination part, so as you can see, it gives 20 games in a single API call. So there are chances like our system cannot support that many objects in a one go. And you can see StreamSet work on JVM. So JVM memory usually are limited, and there are chances if we get more object than its capacity, then our JVM can go down. So that's why we want to limit the number of record received. So with the help of pagination we can control the number of record received. So let's see how can we do that. For that we need to add two more query parameter. One is page and second is page size. So you can see right now my page number is 200. Suppose I want to receive first page, and each page should have only 10 records. So let me make a request. Now you can see we have again got status as 200, and if I copy the response, and if I just minimize it, so you can see in this array we have got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, only 10 records. So that's how we can control number of incoming records using pagination. So now let's see how can we implement the same approach inside StreamSet. Go to the data collector, click on create new pipeline, give it a name. Now select HTTP client. Go to the HTTP tab and just copy the same link over here. For timing, let me remove these two query parameters. And I'm going to run this API endpoint without pagination. Let's see what happens. So before running it, I need to add a destination. So let me add a destination as trash. Now let me run this API. You can see we are getting an error saying JSON object exceeded maximum length. So we have already configured a length of an object which our origin can read, and incoming object has more length than what we have configured. That's why it is giving us that error. So let's see. Go to the configuration and let me again add the page parameters. So let me copy it again and paste it over here. Okay, now let's make it mode as a batch. let's leave rest of the thing as it is. Go to the pagination, select. There are 4 types of pagination available, but our API supports by page number pagination. Select that and we set the initial offset. So initial offset is nothing but 1. Like this will be the page number value from where we want to start, and it will be assigned, or you can say a variable called start at. So we are going to use this start at variable into our API endpoint call. So go to the HTTP tab, and on page number side, instead of giving it 1, we are going to give that variable. So what StreamSet is going to do is it will start from 1 and it will keep on incrementing the value until it stop receiving the records from the source side. And we have to give the result field path as well. So result field path is nothing but the path of the result. Like in response there are so many things, but we are looking for the array which contains our record objects. So we have to give the path of that array. So the path of that array is nothing but /data only. So now let me preview it. We are again getting the same error. So let me increase the size this time. Go to the data format, click on show advanced properties. Now over here I'm going to increase this by 4 times or 5 times, you can say. Now let me do the preview. You can see this time I am able to read the records, and it is reading only the array and extracting the records out of it. So you can see we are in a one batch we are getting 10 records. Now we can remove the trash. And now I just want to extract some particular columns. So I have already made a list of the columns which I want to extract. So these are the list: game number, game ID, date start, season, attendance, venue, first team, second team, first team score, second team score, and winner. So there are a couple of columns which are directly available. Like these columns are directly available and these columns are calculated ones. So let's see how can we create these columns. So go to the so select the expression evaluator. The expression we are going to create 3 and 2 5 calculated columns. So how can we extract first team? You can see there is a key called team1, and in team1 we have a team1 abbreviation, so we can take it as a first team. Similarly we can take team2, we can take its abbreviation, and first team score is nothing but if we go into the result, we can see there is a score column in team1. So team1 underscore score, and similarly team2 score. Yeah, and this one is the tricky one because we don't have a winner field. But what they have done is, like for team1 and team2, they have given a boolean value which show whether they won the game or not. So right now you can see for team1 is winner is true, and for team2 is winner is false. So it means team1 has won the game. So how can we do this? We can implement this using if else condition. So let's do that. Let's first fetch the value of team1 is winner, and we can check if it is true, then give me the value of team1 abbreviation, and if it is not true, then again we are going to check for the team2 If it is true, then give me the value of team2 abbreviation. And if both are not true, then we are going to give a value called NA. So these 5 columns has been added, and one more column I want to add, that's called venue. This column is not available in direct hierarchy, so we have to extract this value from the hierarchy. So you can see there is a field called venue/name, so we are going to take this value as venue, and that's it. Let's preview it. You can see we are getting a venue, then first team, second team, first team score, second team score, and winner in each record. So let's remove the extra fields which I don't need with the help of field remover. Click on remove and keep, and I want to keep some particular fields only, so we can copy the field, or we can select the field using preview data. We want game ID, we want date start, we want game number, then season, attendance, we want venue, we want first team, second team, first team score, second team score, and winner. And that's it. Let me preview it. So you can see we are getting only the required columns. Now I want to load this data into MySQL database. So I have this MySQL database with me. Over here I have one demo database. Inside demo database I have already created one game table. Let me recreate it. This table has been created, and let me run it. This table does not have any data. So now let me to load the data into MySQL, I want JDBC producer. So in destination I will get JDBC producer. That's it. So now I have to configure it. So I need a JDBC connection string. I have the JDBC connection string. So this is my JDBC connection string. Let me copy it and paste it, and then my table name is games, and let me add the credential as well. Yeah, that's it. So now I can run my job and my data will start flowing inside the MySQL. Let me start the pipeline. You can see my data has been started loading. It has loaded 10 records. So let me run the select statement, and you can see those 10 records is available right now. They are 20 because it's a streaming pipeline. It will keep on running until the source system stop providing the data. You can see it has loaded 30 records. So I hope friend this content has been helpful to you, and if you find it helpful, just like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.